A very good afternoon to one and all present here for the 120th episode of Future Talk series conducted by Prayaana. This is Tejaswini, your host for today's session. Hello and welcome to all the women and girls out there and to all the people who support women and her cause. Wishing you all a very happy Women's Day in advance. We, Team Future Talks by Prayaana, celebrate this day in our own style. Welcoming all the viewers who have joined us to YouTube live stream for today's live discussion with our speaker. Now let's have a look at the Prayaana organization. Prayaana is a unique employability, entrepreneurship, and innovative ecosystem for women. Prayaana Labs gives wholesome career support services right from career counseling, training, mentoring, and recruitment services all under one umbrella. You can also check us at www.prayaana.org. Are you a student, a working woman, or a woman who wants to upgrade your skills? Then Prayaana is just the right platform for you. To join us, register at www.prayaana.in or download our app on App Store or get it on Google Play. So what are you waiting for? Download your profile today. It's a community hub where you can share your thoughts, ideas, and network with women of similar interests. We also provide membership programs and learning modules over international and well-acclaimed mentors. So check our app right now, Prayaana Collective or Prakol. It is India's first e-commerce platform that is dedicated to the empowerment of women. The platform is uniquely designed with an attractive affiliate marketing model where all the customers are given an opportunity for lifetime savings and earnings. You can also check us at www.procol.com. Remember, for every purchase you make at Procol, you're supporting a women's business too. Here's how you can actively interact in today's session. Post your queries at live chat in our YouTube channel. The queries will be shared to guests live and answered. Remember the first day when we were laid on our mother's arms until today working in our own spaces? The entire journey seems to be a roller coaster ride, isn't it? Well, what was that support we enjoy even today and continue to enjoy even after we grow up? What makes us feel warm and lovable? Who are those people with us? Now just have a look around your own home. Whom do you see? The people who nurtured you? Or do you want to see them in their absence? Well, this is the warmth of parenting, the support which we cherish all time. This afternoon, we will have live interaction with our speaker for today's session, Ms.Manikarnika, who is an educationist, ed tutor, life skills and soft skills trainer. Now let's have a look at her profile. Ms. Manikarnika is a mentor or educator by choice with varied experience in different fields. Her vision is to enable people discover their talent and unique identity by providing them tools and resources, encouraging individuality and help them become better. Her fields of interest include helping individuals to communicate better, become confident, focus on their talent skills, plan their career, manage their trades, and also follow their dreams. She is an international tutor with experience in teaching international curriculum IB, tutoring American and Singapore students, and she has been envisioning an institution of international standards and innovative teaching methodology. She has had experience at running play schools, managing an international computer center apart from getting familiarized with media and advertising. She is based in Kochi and she is an national trainer of JCI India and has conducted training for various segments of the society. And here's the list of the participants group and training which is provided to them. So under the industry tech science, she has provided training for customer service, For BPCL, that is a blue collar workforce, she has provided quality service training, bettering customer service. And also for blue collar workforce, she has been handling and resolving customer grievances, bettering customer services. For LIC financial advisors, so she had been focusing and achieving targets. And you can see the list goes on. There is a huge list of achievements that she has achieved. Ma'am, we are glad to have you as a speaker for today's session. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you, Tejaswini. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. And as she was saying, like, parents are someone we always have in our life, right? But when it becomes our kind of uh, chance to become a parent, we all a confused bit, aren't we? So, Tejaswini, is my this visible? Is my show visible slide, or do I?
The screen
Yeah,
has
let me share the screen. Okay. uh, as I said, like, parenting is something we all are very much confused about, aren't we? There are lots of advisors. As someone said, everybody knows how to raise your child except you. We get lots of advices from everybody, right? From our parents, our relatives, and nowadays we have the Google aunt to tell us each and everything. We're so confused, aren't we? So, what exactly is parenting? Is it controlling? Is it envisioning a beautiful child, or maybe an image of yourself? What exactly is parenting? Parenting is something like this, right? It's not a 9 to 5 job. Now, every job, we do have some sort of a profile description wherein we talk about that these are your responsibilities, these are the things that you're supposed to be doing, so on and so forth. But do you have such a definition about parenting? I don't think we have one. It's not a 9 to 5 job as we all used to, right? It is a job which starts when you open your eyes and till you close your eyes. It's a job which demands a lot of things. It's a job which surpasses all other jobs or all other careers. So what does it entitle? Each of us who are a parent or who are dreaming of becoming a parent, we do have a vision of a beautiful image of ourselves, right? We are trying to bring out a beautiful child or a beautiful individual into this world, right? Trying to give them all possible education, all possible chances, all possible things so that they can become a beautiful one. But what do we have to do that? We are so concerned that we want to make a good individual. They're very raising a beautiful person that we forget we already have one, isn't it? As we always are fond of saying that each child is unique, your child too is unique. But have we ever recognized that? We are always looking at how can we make them better? What are the different things we give them? We need to give them to make them better. We forget to see, we forget to acknowledge, we forget to appreciate what they have already. Each and every child comes with a bountiful of potential. It's our job to identify that. But we are always looking at how can we make them better. How can you make a diamond better? How can you make a gold better in its quality? Just by letting them shine, by letting them bask in their own glory. So, what do we do actually? We need to listen to them. Do we listen to them actually? Do we listen to each other? We don't, right? As someone says, we always listen to be thinking like, okay, if this is the question, what should I answer to? The same we do with our children, right? Whenever they tell us anything, for example, like if a child breaks their toy, what's the typical response that we do? Oh, that's a small toy. Forget it. I'll get you another one. I'll get you a better one. Isn't that the typical thing? But to a child, that toy, that favorite toy, even though it's broken, that still is a favorite toy. Have you ever tried to understand the sadness, the grief the child feels about losing that toy? Have you ever spent a moment thinking how important that particular toy is to that child? We never do that. We are, adult world, the parent world, aren't we? Such a simple toy, such a small toy. What do they use it for? They just use it for play. Haven't we heard play is a child's work? So they are so attached to the toy, which we belittle and we throw it away, don't we? So we need to listen to them. Not only listen to them, understand what they're telling about. What does that toy mean to them? Because if when we start listening to them, all those baby stuff, all those small simple things is when they start having faith in us, having trust in us. It's small things that start, it's small things that lead to big things, right? So when we start listening to the small stuff, they lead to the big stuff. When a child is a toddler, you start listening to them. You start listening to all the silly. It might sound silly to you, it might feel very silly to you, but keep up there. Be with them. Listen to them. Listen to what they're saying so that when the big stuff comes, they feel confident and they feel very good, comfortable talking to you about the big stuff. Every point of time, they do have lots of questions. They always need a reassurance that yes, we are there to listen to them. Every word of us, ours, every action of ours, every behavior of us, they need reassurance that we are with them. These are the questions they ask us, not necessarily orally. They always have, do you see me as I want to be seen? Do you see me as a child, or do you see in me just a reflection of yourself? Just something that you want to be proud of. That's what typically we do, right? We're so proud of our children. We are their owners, right? They are our possessions. So, do we see them as a child? They might be small. That doesn't mean they're less of a person, are they? No. We need to see them as an individual person. They might have come from us. They might be our future, but they are different from us, aren't they? So we need to see them for what they are, their likes, their dislikes. It might be very different from what we know, what we have, right? So do you see them? Do you see in me what I want to be seen? And what do you hear from me? When I say I don't like something, what do you understand? You understand that I'm making a fuss. You understand that I'm being cranky. That's what happens. When a child says he doesn't like something or he is not comfortable with it, we always end up thinking he is becoming cranky, he or she is a cranky person or becoming childish. What exactly is a childish? Child is something which they're very open, right? They're very open. They don't know to mask their feelings. They say what they feel like. It's we who start giving it names. Many a time I'm asked, like, how do we stop a child from lying? How do we stop a child from being aggressive or being angry or being cranky, being fussy? How do we do that? Again, we all have heard that a child listens less to you but sees more what you're doing, right? If you start advising a child, he listens less, but he always watches you because you, as a parent, be it a mother or a father, you are the role model, aren't you? So when you act fussy, that's what the child sees. When you act arrogant and get your way, when you get things done being angry, when you get things done being aggressive, that's what the child learns. The child gets that way. He understands, yes, it's okay to be aggressive, it's okay to be angry, it's okay to lie. A child doesn't come from the womb understanding those things, right? That it's okay to lie. Where some places you can lie and some other places you can't. The child doesn't know. He learns it from others. He learns it from his environment. Learning about time, a child learns lots of things right from the womb, right? Now science have shown that every thought that a mother has while the child is in her womb affects the child. Every feeling that a mom has when she's carrying the baby, it affects, right? And the moment the child comes out, the kind of environment that welcomes it does affect the child. It's right from that moment that the child gets different messages. Is it wanted? Is it appreciated? Is it acknowledged? So every person that the child comes into contact gives it a message. We usually call it as the script the child is creating about itself, right? So every action that we do, every word that we say, every behavior of us gives the child a foundation on which it develops its own personality. So if we start by comparing the child or expecting something different from a child, right from the beginning, the child understands, yeah, maybe I'm not good enough. Right from beginning, if you start saying, no, this is the way you are supposed to be behaving, you're not supposed to be behaving the other way, you're not supposed to shout, you're not supposed to do things, it feels, yeah, maybe there are some things I'm not supposed to do, right? But it sees you shouting, it sees you getting angry, it sees you getting aggressive. So the child starts feeling, yes, there are some things I can do, some things my mom can do, some things my dad can do, right? But when I become a mom or a dad, maybe I too can do that. Every moment of its childhood, every moment of the life of a child, it's learning. It's learning from every moment. It's rightly said, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It is a job. The child starts you from the moment it comes into your life. And it goes on till at least your life end, right? You don't stop being a parent. If my mom was alive, I will still be a child to her. She'll still be a parent to me, right? So parenting doesn't ever end. But then what do we do? How do we teach the child what? The child needs to be given the respect, given the consideration, given the same kind of attention that each and every one of us want. Would you be interested if you're belittled? Would you be interested if you're insulted? Would you be interested if you're not taken seriously? No. Each and every one of us would like to be taken seriously, would like to be given respect. Same thing. So, are we seeing the child as a child? Are we seeing the child as a person who has so much of potential, has so much of aspirations, has so much of things that they're so curious about? Many a time a child comes with you to you with a question, right? Lots of questions, so to say. A child is that way. But as the child grows up, The number of questions decrease. We all have seen that, haven't we? Why? Because somewhere the child understood that it cannot get all the questions. Does that mean we have all the questions? No, we don't have all the questions. But can we tell that to the child? Yes, we don't have all the questions, but let's find out. That's one way of doing it, right? Do you see the child as a potential that is to be unwrapped? Do you hear the child? Do you hear the child when it says it's uncomfortable? When it says it's not hungry? When it says it doesn't want the food? When it says it doesn't want to sleep? When it says I'm angry? Do you understand it? Do you hear the pain behind the sadness, the pain behind the anger? Someone once told me that human beings are not like a TV channel. A TV channel, if you choose a particular channel, for example, if you're choosing uh, NDTV, you see only the NDTV channel. You don't see any other. You don't see the BBC, you don't see the Sony, you don't see the Soap Star Plus, you don't see any other channel, right? But we humans, we are so good in mixing up channels, aren't we? When we are angry or when we are sad, we are so good at mixing both of them, right? When we are angry, we like to act sad. When we are sad, we like to act angry. When we are happy, we wouldn't like to act happy. We'd like to act maybe not so happy, but cool kind of a thing. Children are not that way. Children are like the channels. They tell you what they feel like. But when they feel sad and they're not appreciated for that, then they start masking it. They start learning from the adult. Start learning from their parents. So when a child says the child is angry, find out why is the child angry. What made the child angry? When the child is sad, what made the child sad? Why is it? Are you listening to the actual feelings behind the child? Do you hear me? And do I matter? Do I matter in your life? Do I matter as in, am I more important than your job? Or am I more important than the other child? Or am I more important than your mobile phone? Obviously, you can't always be with your child, but you can always tell the child, right? You can always convey to the child that they are very important part of your life, can't we? Can't we make them understand that just because you are leaving the child to go to the job or you're attending a phone call, an urgent phone call, doesn't mean that they don't matter? Most of the time, we try to mix up those messages. When we can't afford to spend time with the child, what do? We get them gifts. We take them to the shopping mall. We buy them whatever they want so that we feel less guilty. So that what happens? We don't actually express what we feel. We're feeling guilty, aren't we? What if you told them, I'm sorry, I couldn't spend time with you, but I'll make it up later? We don't do that. What do? Instead, we shower up them with lots of gifts and expect them to have forgotten whatever disappointment they felt because we weren't with them. Every message that you give the child becomes a foundation on which they rest their personality, they build their personality. You respect them, their time, their feelings, their views. They become a confident child. Every child, every child in this world expects us, the parents, to understand them best, right? If we, as a parent, if we don't understand them, who else will understand them, right? So, do they matter? How much do they matter? Just because they matter, I'm not asking you to leave all your job and everything and just focus on them. I'm just saying, give them the message that they do matter. They do matter, but other things also matter. Nothing take precedence over one. Everything has a time. Most of the time we see the child, okay, when we go out. At home, there might be angels or whatever. But when we go out to a neighbor's place or a guest at a relative's place or any place for that matter, they start acting up smart. Many child do that, right? And we say, what do we say? They're trying to attract attention. They're trying to get attention, right? Why? Because they didn't get attention at home. They weren't given much significance. They weren't given much respect. They weren't appreciated. They weren't acknowledged at home. That is why they are attracting attention outside, right? All these things start from home, from the parents. And is it that difficult? Is it difficult? Is it difficult respecting a person? Is it difficult listening to a person? Is it difficulty acknowledging a person? No, it's not. It's just telling a child, this is what you are. You're preparing the child by giving them proper foundation, because a child is just yours for a little time, right? It is a treasure that you are going to raise so that after you, they will be a part of this world. You need to prepare them. You need to prepare them for the world. You need to prepare them for a world where you won't be part of it. You can't always go on influencing people, influencing the teachers of the school or the wherever they're going, making sure they get everything hunky dory. No, that doesn't happen. You have to prepare your child. You have to prepare a child by giving them confidence on their own skills, by acknowledging that they are a person, they are a soul that can be appreciated, that needs to be appreciated, that can be confident, that can do lots of things in this world. You need to create that. You need to create that personality right from the beginning. It all depends on the ultimate what you want, right? As we are talking about any um, project, how do we start a project? We start a project by envisioning the end result, don't we? The same with the child. What are we raising the child to be? The child has to be a beautiful citizen of this world, right? So how do you prepare them? By inculcating the beautiful things that you want them to be. And again, as often is said, the child sees what you are, then listens to what you say. So you have to act that way, right? You have to be what you want them to be. If you want them to be arrogant, be arrogant yourself. If you want them to be caring and sharing, be caring and sharing yourself. If you want them to be calm and composed at all times, be yourself. When they see you getting stressed on small things, over small things, what do? They start getting stressed up in small things. Have you ever noticed the language of your child? Whenever a child is getting angry, whenever a child is upset, just listen to the words that they use. Aren't the words your words? Aren't they using the same phrases that you use? Many a time, the same behavior or the same kind of Body language you can see imitated in your child. Again, they see you more than they listen you. You are the role model. For better or worse, you are their role model. So what do? So you start living the life that you want them to be living. If at all, change because you want them to be the best, isn't it? So you need to prepare them for the future. You need to prepare them for the world where you won't be there to help them, where you won't be looking after their comfort. They have to fight it on their own. I don't say fight. I wouldn't want to say fight. They will have to live on their own, right? So you need to prepare them for the world. You can't expect the world to be adjusting or accommodating them. Now, how do you do that? You need to make the journey as interesting and as fun as possible. Let them learn. Let them learn on their own. Many a time I give an example of learning a bicycle. All of us have learned a bicycle, right? Now, when I was learning a bicycle, I was told if you don't fall and hurt yourself, get bruised, then you haven't learned cycling, right? If you haven't done a mistake, then you haven't learned because learning means making a mistake, right? Because it's through mistakes that we learn. Nowadays, we do have lots of people saying that the children have become responsible. Yes, they have become shy of taking up responsibility. Yes, they don't want to try anything new. Yes, that's how the children are now. Why? Because all of them are so scared of failing. They don't want to take any responsibility. Why take up a responsibility and fail in that, right? Because they have always been told that you have to win, win, and win. Obviously, we do have the sayings like failures are the stepping stones, but nobody has said that failing is a learning. How to fail and how to fail successfully is a learning. Because only through failure you learn better. You understand why did you fail and you try to avoid that. So failing is as much important in learning as succeeding. So every time your child tries out something new, tries to do something on their own, let them. Make sure they don't get into very big serious trouble. Be there just saying that, yeah, if at all you are making a mistake, I'm here. If at all you fail, I'm here. Isn't that what we also want? Think, if at all there was a person who said, go ahead, go do whatever you want, I'm here to help you out. Isn't that what we would want? That's what a child wants. What a child wants is us to have faith in them, but also be there to support them when they fail. So, a child needs to learn on their own, become better on their own, be uh, the best they can without us meddling into it. And which is the path that we choose for them. They choose their path, not us. Because again, they are individuals. They are small, but nevertheless, they are different from us. They're just learning the ropes. We need to teach them the ropes, obviously. They're just learning the ropes. But the ropes they're learning might lead to a different destination than us. We let them go in that chosen path but be there to help them whenever they fail or whenever they make a mistake, right? So you need to let them flower on their own. Again, do we have a time limit to that? Do we say, yeah, I've given you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you haven't yet shown me anything good, so let me do something for you? No. As someone said, all of you have done popcorns, right? You put all those kernels into the pressure cooker or wherever. You put the heat is same throughout. But do you see all the kernels popping at the same time? No. Some pop up first, some pop up last, some pop up in between, right? Each child has their own speed of becoming whatever they want to be. You can't hurry them. They have to learn on their own, right? As we said, we need to appreciate what we have rather than dreaming of what a child might be, what my child might be, rather than envisaging a beautiful life for them. We let them decide what is beautiful for them. But what is beautiful for me need not be beautiful for you, right? What is good for me need not be good for you, right? The same with the child. Whatever they feel important may not be very important for us. Going back to the toys, the stories, the imagination, all those things, they're so important for them. But for us, no, they're not. The hurt that they feel, it's not important for us, but it's important for them. So, whatever is important for them, let them choose that. But make sure you're there to support them. Make sure when they make a mistake, you're there to help them out. When they are going on their journey, when they are confused, when they are in doubt, you're there to help them out. You might not have all the answers, obviously. They don't expect you to have all the answers. One of the best things you can tell your child when they ask you a question is be frank with them. If you don't know the answer of a question, tell them, I don't know. But I'm here, let's find out. That you can always do. That's what you do with your friends, right? That's what we do among ourselves, right? When we, as adults, we discuss, we talk, we share things, we don't expect the other person to know everything that we want or give us everything blindfolded. No, we don't. We expect them to be with us throughout. The same with the child. The child expects the parent to be with them throughout the journey. And whenever needed, give them support. If at all you have an answer, give an answer. If no, be with them to find the answer. You need to let them create their own life. You need to let them make their own mistakes. Just like a caterpillar needs to undergo the metamorphosis, give up all its identity and struggle to become a beautiful butterfly. A child needs to struggle through to become a beautiful personality by helping or cut the cocoon or feeding them leaves is not going to help them in the struggle. It's not going to make them a beautiful butterfly. You be there always saying that, yes, I'm here. Give them the faith that, yes, you can. Give them the confidence. Give them the identity. Yes, you are a precious person. You are so precious to me. I would want you to be as good as you are. It doesn't matter if you don't achieve anything. It doesn't matter if you don't get 95%. It doesn't matter if you can't sing like the other child. It doesn't matter if you can't communicate well. Whatever, you are precious to me. Isn't that what we look for in each of our relationships? Don't we want to be accepted as what we are? Don't we want others to not looking at our success and loving us, accepted as what we are? Accept your child as they are. It doesn't matter if they have failed in the school. It doesn't matter if they haven't performed up to your standards. It doesn't matter if they are not as good in sports as your friend's child. It doesn't matter if they don't sing, if they don't dance, if they don't do the mimicry. It doesn't matter. What matters is they are a beautiful soul. Each and every child is a beautiful soul, aren't they? Appreciate them, acknowledge them, instead of trying to mold them into something they cannot be. Give them all the confidence. Then wait and watch. Each of them will grow up to a beautiful butterfly. It's not our job. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's not our job to toughen our children up to face a cruel and heartless world. It's our job to raise children who will make the world a little less cruel and a little less heartless. The usual rant we see about the society today is that the society has become so cruel, so, how do you say, unloving, uncaring. Nobody has any issues in cheating people, killing people, fighting with the others. Tempers flare up at the drop of a hat. How did that happen? A society, each of us know, society is me and you. If I let things happen to me, I let things happen to everybody else, right? If I do things to others, then I'm a person to be blamed, right? Many a time feel, we have, like, I have felt and have heard parents say to the children, to their child, you don't need to share your things. Your friend's mom will give him, or your friend's mom will give her. You don't need to share your things. You don't need to think about the others. You think about yourself. First, eat your food and then share it. So, these are the things that the child learns, that I am supposed to be taking care of myself first and then the others. And that is what is happening in this society, right? Everybody is taking care of themselves and nobody is worried about the others. That is where the injustice happen, right? My feelings are the most important things. Obviously, my feelings are the most important things. But does it mean that I should be hurting others? Does it mean that others should be accommodating to me, adjusting to me? I am the most important person. Everyone is. So, how do we let our children do that? We need to teach them caring, sharing, everything that's good. In olden days, we used to have those moral stories, remember? Wherein each story had some sort of a moral that you shouldn't lie, you shouldn't thieve, you should be always supporting each other, you should be good friends, so on and so forth, right? Remember, those used to be one of our beautiful times. It might have been a story, but each of us did leave. And unknowingly, those traits became a part of our personality. Our child also needs that. It could be through a story, it could be through anecdotes, live examples that you need to teach your child that taking yourself seriously is needed, loving yourself is needed. The same thing has to be rendered to others also. The other child or the other person also is important. So you need to take care of the others also. A society is not made by other people. Each and every one of us is part of the society, and whatever bad happens in the society, whatever are the shortcomings in this world, it's our responsibility also, isn't it? That's what our job. We need to make our child less aggressive, less angry, less selfish, and more of a caring, sharing, and a beautiful soul. Is it a very difficult thing? No, it's not difficult. It's not at all difficult. Even before us, millions and millions of parents who did a beautiful job. Each of us are a testimony to that, aren't we? It's a beautiful job, just that we need to take it a little more seriously. As in, taking the child seriously, the soul seriously, the soul that's yet to be coming out of their cocoon, right? Waiting to be flowering beautifully. There's no way to be a perfect parent, but a million ways to be a good one. Each of us have had a beautiful parent. There's no perfect thing. There's no perfect recipe. There's no perfect equation, formula for being a parent. You do it in your own way. Every one of you have your own way of doing it because each of you have a beautiful and a different child. So here is to all of you to becoming a beautiful and great parent. Thank you. Tejaswini?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for speaking on this topic. Sometimes we feel that the responsibilities in our way come as surprise, though we feel that we are equipped and prepared to face such situations. So during these times, we need someone to guide us and just help us in these situations. So thank you so much for sharing your ideas and thoughts on this. With this, we come to the Q&A session. We
Right.
have few questions by our viewers.
Yeah,
So
please.
it would be great if you.
No issues. Let me see if I can answer them. Put forward.
Okay. So the first question from our viewer is that I'm a woman who is going to be a mother. I have heard people telling that it is not easy to raise a child as it is to raise them in our womb. How true is this?
I know. I mean, moms to be are so scared with so many. Again, let's blame the information explosion for that. Like everybody is out to scare you of becoming a mother, kind of a thing. Okay, but believe me, it is as beautiful and as accelerating experience as placing it in the womb. Okay, but it's a quite long one. Then it extends up to say 40, 50, 60 years, whatever. But then again, you do have a role, as Tejaswini was saying, it's a roller skater kind of a ride, wherein you have the good uh, times and the bad times and the hair splitting times, so on and so forth. Understand, it's not difficult. It's just that it's something that you haven't done yet, so you find it difficult. Haven't we done the whole thing like throughout our life? Haven't we done things that we haven't uh, as had yet done, like cycling? You hadn't done it, you learned it, you did it beautifully, didn't you? Similarly, mothering is also something you can learn on your own. And you do have lots of examples. It's not something like first time into the space kind of a thing, right? There have been millions and millions of women who have been a beautiful mother, not mother to one. There have been instances where they have been mother to tens and fifteens of children, right? And they have done a beautiful job. So I wouldn't say it's easy. It's something which you need to take seriously. Obviously, it's something which has got a long lasting impact. Yes, surely. But it's something that you can enjoy throughout your life. It's something I'm sure you will love very much. Just make sure, go with your intuition. Always your intuition will direct you. And in case you have any doubts, you do have your moms, your grandmoms, your aunts, and everybody. Listen to them and then go with your intuition, because you are the person who knows your child best, right? Go with your intuition. If your intuition says, yeah, it's good for your child, go ahead, do that. Yes, Tejaswini.
Thank you, ma'am. Your efforts have answered my question.
I can't hear you.
And our next, am
Yeah.
I audible now?
Yeah, now yeah.
Okay. Our next viewer asks, we are young couples and have heard people around us telling that parenting is a tedious job and it hinders our professional growth. How can we go about taking decisions regarding this?
Right. Um, yeah. So most of the couples nowadays, they do feel that parenting is going to be hindering their professional life. Uh, think about your parents. They also had a job, right? They never felt that you were a hindering to their jobs, right? It's when you give too much of an importance to one thing and belittling the other. Just because you are a professional, does that mean you ignore your other relations with your parents, relations with your siblings, relations with your friends? You don't do that, do you? You don't uh, uh, ignore them. You give them equal importance, don't you? The same with your child. Obviously, child is a little bit more responsibility because it's your child, right? It's obviously it's more of a kind of, how do you say, time consuming. Yes, child rearing is time consuming, but nowadays you do have lots of people to help you out, right? You do have flexible corporate laws which lets you become a better parent. When we were parents, we didn't have that. Understand, bringing up a child, as some folklore says, bringing up a child is not only the parents' job, it's the whole society. So understand, the society also has changed. The society also has also become better. It also will help you. You do have lots of places where you can get the help, you can get all the kind of advices that you want. The only thing is you need to be a little more serious about it, kind of, as I was saying, that you need to realize that it's a human potential, right? A person as such. It's not just a child. It's a full person as such, with all the feelings, with all the emotions and things like that. You give them the due respect for that, and the respect for whatever the feelings and things like that, and then manage it. It will work out beautiful. Obviously there are lots of people to scare you, but don't get scared. It's not a scary job at all.
Thank you for answering the question, ma'am. Our next viewer asks, me and my husband are working couple. Our kids are raised in kindergarten. How can parenting be managed when we are not able to give time in these situations?
Most of the time we always equate time with the time we spend as how much quality time we spend, so on and so forth. uh, Again, it need not necessarily be that you be with the child 24 hours 24/7 and then only you become a good parent. No, when you come home from your job, spend 2 minutes with the child. But when you're spending the 2 minutes be with the child. Remember earlier I talked about the switching channels? Like when you're talking to the child, instead of listening to the child, instead of acknowledging what they're saying, instead of understanding what the emotions are, if you're busy with your phone, or if you're worrying about your job, or if you're worrying what is to be done for the dinner, that's where things get muddled up. Spend few minutes, spend 2 minutes, 3 minutes, half an hour. That's enough to create the bond, to create the kind of respect, the create the trust. The child does understand. uh, Take from me, the child is far smarter than us. There are so many sciences behind that. The child is very smarter than us. The child does understand your busyness. The child does understand your hectic schedule, everything. But in between all those things, you just take 5 minutes for them. But that 5 minutes, undivided attention for the child is what the child wants. Is that the only thing the child wants? All of you would have heard of the anecdote wherein a child uh, tries to gather money to buy 1 hour of the dad's time. The same thing. The child wants an undivided attention, be it 2 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. That's enough. Spend that. Make that every day. Make that as a ritual. If not any other time, at least while putting the child to bed, while going to sleep. The best feelings that you want a child to be having while going to sleep is that my mom cares for me or my dad cares for me. Yes, I'm so comfortable with my parents. That's enough. Obviously, the child is spending much time somewhere else, but 5 minutes of your time surely does matter more than the other times. Try doing that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope it would have provided a solution to those couples.
Mhm.
And our next viewer asks, should parenting be only one-sided? That is, parents looking after their children, or should it not be the other side? That is, the children also looking after their parents.
Obviously, but then where will the uh, children learn from it, that you have to take care of the other person? Where will the children learn from it from? That's why I'm saying we need to bring up a generation of children who will be taking care of each other, not only their own parents. Obviously they need to take care of their own parents, they need to take care of their brothers, sisters, they need to be taking care of their neighbors, they need to be taking care of the friends, they need to be taking care of the world. That is what you need to teach the child. That is what you need to show the child. How do you teach a child? You don't tell them, you show them. When you start taking interest in other people's life, when you start sharing, when you start caring for others, the children start believing, yeah, this is how it has to be lived. When you start going and spending time with people who don't matter much, when you start showing compassion to people who are less privileged than you, children learn from you. Children take you as a role model. If you say, I'm too busy for you, I don't have time for you, the child will reflect the same thing in future years. Child will say, I'm too busy for you. When you say, even in my busy schedule, I might be busy 24 hours by 7, but I can always take half an hour for your concerns. I can take always half a day leave if you're not well. I can always spend 10 minutes with you, with your doggy or maybe your toy or whatever, the same thing the child will do. How much ever busy they are, they always will have time for you if you had time for them when you were busy. They learn from us.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions, ma'am. I hope this would have provided an easy solution to all our viewers. By this,
Thank
we
you
come
so
to
much.
an end of the Q&A session. Thank you so much,
Thank you
viewers.
so much. Thank you, Tejaswini. Thank you, Prayana, for having me. It was fun talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I also thank all the viewers for posting their questions. And also thank you, ma'am, for answering all the questions posted by our viewers. I would like to thank all of them who took part in today's session. And big thanks to our speaker for joining and conducting this session. Did this session prove to be worthy your time spent? Then don't forget to hit on the like button. For more such Future Talk series episodes, click on the subscribe button on our channel and hit on the bell icon to be notified on our updates. The next slide. For advertisements or sponsorships, you can mail us at joinprayana@gmail.com. I once again thank everyone for making this show a successful one.